What are you talking about? This thing is safe and secure. Come on, guys, are you judging me? Sorry guys, that was kind of awkward. Huh. Don't drill. Right there. What's up, guys? We actually got some snow last night. Made a giant ball. It was supposed to be a snowman, but by the time I made one giant ball, I was kind of just done with it, so. gosh, I'm still finding glass. I was feeling a little lazy, and I was like, it'll be fine. I'll probably never even use the mega bed. But then I realized that mega bed was actually just like the size of a regular bed. And then I actually gave it some real thought. So as far as how much space this extension really gives me, well, it's kind of a gray area. Ha ha ha. Oh, really, guys, this was definitely worth it. This middle walkway piece is 14 inches across, roughly. My bed piece is 22 inches wide. Well, that's over a 50% upgrade, so I would consider that definitely worth it. Big shout out to Sis and the Jiffy Treat for hooking me up with these empty milk jugs. I am going to go over some of the specifications of my system and let you guys know some of the struggles Jake and I had putting this together. This is a 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. I had some leftover insulation and I decided to make a little blanket for it because it is getting pretty cold here at night, and it's always just best for the health of the battery to keep it as warm as you can. The positive lead for my battery goes to a fuse here. It is a 250 amp fuse. It then goes to a disconnect so I can shut off power to the board from the battery anytime I need to. From there it goes straight to this positive bus bar. I will go ahead and take this bus bar cover off for you guys so you can see. All of the positive leads from all of my components lead back to this red bus bar, and all of the negative leads go back to this black one. My battery is being charged from this Renogy DC to DC MPPT 50 amp charge controller. Yes, I know it is a mouthful. So this Renogy unit actually allows me to charge from my alternator when I'm driving or if the truck's running. So this cable actually runs underneath the truck and under the hood to the positive terminal of my battery. And when I flip this breaker on, it will complete the circuit and will charge my battery if my truck is running. And at the same time, I can also charge with solar, which comes in actually through this little red lead right here and runs through a fuse, a 30 amp fuse, and through this disconnect so I can shut my solar panels off whenever I need to. And then it goes into my charge controller here through this red wire. So, really cool unit. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's very easy to operate and set up. You just kind of plug in the terminals and it does its thing. The blue light indicates that it's on lithium mode. You can set it to a couple different batteries, but since I do have a lithium battery, it's blue. That's something you do have to set, by the way, so you might pay attention to that. Just like the battery type light, the battery service light, which is the green one, also changes to a couple different colors, and you can see it all in the manual what they all mean. This red blinking light shows that I'm getting solar input, and just like with the other lights, it will blink and flash, and everything means something a little different, so you're just going to have to look at your manual when you get your unit. If I had my alternator charging enabled right now, this light would also be red. So moving on, guys, this is my fuse panel for all the 12-volt devices in the back. I know, it is an absolute mess. This is a very small board that Jake and I packed all of these devices onto, so I had to sacrifice a little bit of neatness in order to pack it all on there. This giant brick over here, taking up about half of the board, is my pure sine wave inverter. It is a 2000 watt model. This inverter has ran everything I've hooked up to it except for a hot water maker, the pitcher type hot plates that you just pour water into and then turn it on and it boils the water really quick for you. I think this inverter would handle it, but I have the inverter on a 300 amp breaker and it would trip the breaker. So I think if I sized up a little bit, I could do it with this inverter. So if you follow the black lead from my battery, it will lead you to this little device right here. That is actually called a shunt. It allows you to monitor your battery vitals, I guess you would call it. But this is actually the readout screen for that little shunt. This is what it measures for you. So I can see that my battery is at 14.3 volts. It is 100% charged at 200 amp hours. Basically, this amp reading and watt reading shows you the overall negative or positive effect on your battery. So if you're charging your battery, it will show plus however many amps. If you are pulling electricity from your battery, it will show minus however many amps and watts. This is a super handy readout when you're trying to figure out what devices pull what percentage of your power. You can plug in a certain device and it will show you right here what it's pulling from the battery. I will also share with you guys that I am using 4-gauge wire throughout the board. All of the leads coming to and from my charge controller are all 4-gauge. My battery cables are 2-aught, and I believe my inverter cables are also either 1 or 2-aught. They came with the inverter, so I'm not too sure what specific size they are. And as for all the leads going back to the back, they are 16-gauge wire. They have been running all my 12-volt systems in the back very easily without any overheating or anything like that. And I haven't blown a fuse yet, so fingers crossed. Also here on the battery, I have a temperature sensor. This is running back to my controller, and it's going to give the controller some data on just how my battery's doing and how fast it can charge it.